because of some heavy rain in the early hours of the morning when it was dark. Left portions of the outfield very soggy, so an hour's delay.
So umpire Aleem Dar having a look on the pitch. That's the reason. That left foot of Makaya Ntini encroaching on where he shouldn't be. Well placed. That should go all the way. That will go all the way. That's what I was talking about when I referred to Ryan Hinds and the placement. Chanderpaul has been around a long time. He knows exactly how to get the ball into the gaps to get his runs. It's all about just angling the face of the bat to find those gaps. A bit of power, yes, but more important, placement.
Just lets it run off the face of the bat. We'll get a couple. Great shot. Great shot. That's almost a carbon copy of his namesake, Wavell Hinds, who played a number of those during his 213. Straight driven four.
The virtues of offering the full face of the bat. There's always room straight down the ground. You don't find too many fielders standing in front of the side screen. Excellent partnership here again between these two.
Mentioned Ryan Hinds' straight drive, very similar to Wavell Hinds' straight driving. Let's have a look at one from Wavell Hinds here. Straight down the ground, very much straighter, but everything there, the straight bat. And here's Ryan Hinds now. Not much difference there. Same result, 4. And as Michael Holding was saying, the value of a straight bat, a high elbow, and head well over the ball. Single that races the 100 partnership just before tea. So the West Indies continue to build up a commanding total here. Partnership between Chanderpaul and Wavell Hinds was worth 284. This is now worth 100. And that will be tea. And that tea on the second day then, 490 for 4, with 177 to Chanderpaul and 36 to Ryan Hinds. And the West Indies seem as if they're far from finished. They'll be looking for something in the region of 600 from this position. Ensure that they will only bat once and try to see what they can do in winkling out the South Africans twice. Difficult job on this pitch against such a strong batting team and with a West Indies attack which is somewhat inexperienced.
We're just believing from here that you'll see a little more, I suppose, enthusiasm, a little bit more intent from the batsmen in this session. Might just have been turning past leg stump. Mark Boucher was standing down the leg side.
Yes, not quite as much excitement as I thought there might be, and may have been a bit of bat on it.
Good solid shot to start things off. What a greeting for Nell.
Well, we saw his namesake play a few of these yesterday and this morning, but none better than this. Ryan Hinds launching into that, not a half volley, not a bad start. Starting delivery from Andre Nell round the wicket. Perhaps fractionally over-pitched, but dispatched with ease through wide mid-off.
Good comeback. A little bit more pace, not expressly quick, just a touch more.
Well, Nell has been South Africa's outstanding bowler through the past couple of days, and that's why he's stuck to his task well. He's bowled with fire and venom, put the ball in the right spot, and if there is any hint of movement to be gleaned from this pitch, he's found it.
Send a message, you see. I'm to join you on television there, man.
Andre Nell is one of those bowlers who, when you're batting against him, you don't look up when you've missed the ball, because you know he's going to be a couple of yards away and looking menacing. The bark is worse than the bite, I'll tell you that. He's the most amicable of chaps off the field. Just loses it occasionally when he's got a ball in his hand.
Most remarkable situation when the West Indies last taught South Africa during, I think, the last test match. He had to rush off after one of the day's play to get married. It was quite interesting seeing him sprinting off the field at the end of a day's play into the dressing room, getting the old suit and tie on and hustling through the back door as quickly as he could to get to his place of marriage. That's a good shot. 2 boundaries in the over. That's the best of them. 500 comes up as well. 500 for 4.
No long and aggressive follow through there from Andre Nell. He's just turned on his heel and stomped off, because he knows he overpitched here, full and wide, and Chanderpaul isn't going to miss out on that.
And Ryan Hinds is equally as strong. Good stride in, and that has caused Graham Smith to get a few more grey hairs today.
Well, South Africa won't want to lose the discipline that they've built up today in this post-tea session. They did yesterday. They bowled poorly, and the signs are that same thing's happening here. 3 boundaries in 10 balls.
End of the over, 506 for 4. A wicket for Nicky Boye. Jacques Callis is the catcher at slip. And the West Indies lose their 5th wicket.
Well, disappointment for Ryan Hinds. Practicing the off drive that he was aiming away through extra cover, not quite at the pitch. He was just a little bit loose and a little bit free with this. Could see the 4 that would have taken him to 50. Instead, it's a simple catch for Callis. Boye gets his reward. And Ryan Hinds has gone for 48. West Indies are 506 for 5.
Narsingh Dinarine, local boy as well, just 21 years of age, on test debut. Former West Indies under-19 captain. In front of his home crowd. There'll be a few nerves.
Oh, yeah.
Single will bring Dinarine on to strike. I don't think Mark Bouch will be particularly impressed with that. Maybe de Villiers' throw. He should know better, having worn the gloves in Test cricket himself.
It's interesting just looking at these young players. He doesn't have quite the Chanderpaul stance or maybe execution of shots. It's just a few of his animations as he stands and settles himself, little fidgets that he goes through. Very reminiscent in many ways of some of the things that Chanderpaul does. Lots of moving about, pulling up the pads, knocking the gloves, and he goes down. Much more orthodox stance, just a little open.
Yeah.
And he's off the mark. Is he off the mark with the boundary? It's good fielding. And Tini's the man down there at third man. Two at least is the result, but umpire Lindau wants to ask the television umpire to ensure that it wasn't a boundary.
Well, a little streaky way to get off the mark in Test cricket. I think that's fine. It's a great stop. Push back into the field of play before he hit the boundary. And I think the Dinarine will just pick up the 2.
I think we get confirmation that it was a clean stop. It's just a little bit more urgency, isn't it? A little more intent
See him there?
from Chanderpaul.
He's starting to see things now. She's been there for too long.
I don't think Chanderpaul knew that the short fine leg was there. It's a comfortable single. Dinarine on strike again. He'll feel better now he's got off the mark. He's got a great pedigree. He was part of the West Indies under-19 squad, and he was top of the tree in 1999, a couple of hundreds, and averaged 69. He was captain in the Junior World Cup in New Zealand.
It's a bit of a nasty delivery from Andre Nell, and obviously a new boy in Test match cricket. He's going to get a little bit of a workout.
And on this difficult pitch, you're not too sure exactly how high the ball will bounce, because I'm absolutely sure Dinarine expected that ball to bounce a lot higher than it actually did. It was that short. It should have gone over his shoulders. Didn't bounce very high, so he had to wear it. Not too discomforting though. This pitch isn't quick enough for him to be really hurt. More pride than really pain there.
And what it's moved, or what it's meant, is that Graham Smith has decided to put a short leg in position. Jacques Rudolph, who is under the lid in that short leg position these days for South Africa, has suddenly been switched. And he's only a couple of metres away from the batsman. But again, Dean Narayan looking to play that one off the back foot. Just a little bit of concern here for me. I don't know if this technique is where it should be right now. As a youngster, yes. We saw Pagan play beautifully yesterday. But straight away, there's just a little bit of a hop onto that back foot, even though that ball was pitched up, and most players would look to play that off the front foot. Obviously, also with these new players, the South Africans haven't seen any video footage, which they like to do going into a test series, would have upset their plans. So they've got to think on their feet at the moment.
Well, the crowd trying to give him a bit of pressure here on Renell. Few boos ringing out. But that's to be expected. New boy on the block, or new kid on the block, as they would say. Andrenel will pepper him.
And certainly once or twice more on this over. Well, it's nicely bowled, good thinking, but well played. Again, the stare. Clarence, the cricketing crab, was also just dozing off with a slow run rate early today.
I've been taking a note of a lot of things that have happened in this test match so far, Mike. And one thing that I've noticed again is Ryan Chanderpaul's apparent fitness. Seems as if his fitness level has gone up quite a bit. He has been at the crease now 474 minutes. True, he had a good night's rest last night, or should have. But normally, Chanderpaul would have shown a bit more sign of stress, would have started to cramp up in his arms, in his legs. We have seen nothing of that in this innings so far. And yes, the cloud cover has been there, but it's humid. He would have been sweating a lot.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt that that's been a big improvement in the West Indies setup. Obviously, a far more scientific approach, if you like. They're obviously working a lot harder at their fitness. You speak to any of the players and they mention that as something that's been drummed into them, and it's so important at this level, as you know, Mikey.
Well, of course, the coach should have a lot to do with that. But I'm impressed. Chanderpaul is never one to bat this long without having a runner.
Two off the over. 5-1-6 for 5. Quick single taken. It's nicely worked. Too straight that time from Shah Langerfeld. Another one, I think, who's come back pretty well after not being all that impressive in his initial spell yesterday, but I think he bowled a very good spell, the slower ball that time. Very good spell yesterday to Ryan Chanderpaul, and he seems to have kicked on from there. Also, another thing that young players need to look out for, all sorts of restrictions these days to how many logos you can actually have on your equipment. You see that obviously there were far too many before he walked out of that. Plaster all over the place on his pads and also on his trousers. That's something that the match referee certainly keeps a very close watch on. There we go, there's more plaster. Nicely played. Maybe de Villiers, can he get that throw back to Mark Boucher somewhere in the vicinity? No, he goes the other end this time. End of the over, 521 for 5.
Couple of runs coming in that over, but still a pretty good over from Charles Landerfeld.
Four runs, nicely played, great connection.
The backward square is well behind the square. Ryan Chanderpaul knew that once he got enough back on that and it ended up in front of square, it was going to be 4 runs. Just passing to the right of the umpire. Deep backward square had absolutely no chance of getting to that.
Takes him now to 194. .22 fours. Terrific start to the series. Once one. Andre Nell was the fielder, but safely home. No connection with the timber.
Second time today we have seen Ryan Chanderpaul take on Andre Nell at mid-off. Fast bowlers having done so much work. Will be just a fraction slower. Give you that time to get in. They're getting a bit excited. Chanderpaul is approaching his double century.
Nicely played. Over pitch from Nicky Beer. A bit wide as well. Just opened the blade, did Dean Urine. And Graeme Smith's not going to stop that. That's his first boundary in Test match cricket.
Good placement. Just opening the face of the bat there on Ryan, just to make sure that the ball goes fairly square. There's an extra cover mid-off. Once he gets it square enough, it will beat the extra cover.
A little bit quicker that time from Bier. Certainly they've come alive here at Border with the new skipper in sight of that double 100. And the youngster from Ghana also playing nicely. Trying to get a few more runs on the board, just the single that time, so he's going to retain the strike. 531 for 5. This place is going to erupt, Mikey, if he gets them.
Well, she definitely will be very happy. Very supportive of our husband throughout his cricketing career.
Yeah, she just about pulled a hamstring when he got his 100 yesterday. I wonder what she's going to do this time. Got 5 runs, that's what he needs. A while ago we saw Clarence just having a bit of a snooze, but he's come alive as well now. He wants to witness this. This is where it's going to start getting very difficult from here on in for the keeper in particular. The odd ball is going to keep very low. These are bouncing twice easily before they get to Mark Boucher.
On the second day of a test. Don't think that's really what you want to be seeing in a test match. David Shepherd this morning did hint that at the prospect that perhaps his pitch wasn't quite what you would want for a test match. A bit too biased towards the batsmen.
Mind you, if it starts keeping low on a consistent basis, then you're bound to have the odd one basically rolling along the ground as the game progresses, and it is going to make life a little bit difficult for the batsman. Not that the scoreboard reflects that right now, but this is the first 2 days of this test, the first of 4 test matches. Just the one. To round off the over, 2 runs coming from it, but he retains the strike to Ryan Chanderpaul. 533 for 5. And he's going to commence over number 29. Lots of excitement. Big chair, but it's only one. And time for a change of voice in the commentary box for the next half hour. It's going to be Paul Allitz, and alongside him, Tony Cozier.
Thank you, Michael. A little bit of a relaxation for the crowd here as the strike changes over. Just through short leg off the inside edge for Dion Ryan.
Well, this may encourage the West Indies in a little curious way. A little bit of spin out of the rough and went very quickly through short leg, right through short leg. No look again for Boye.
Difference with the South African batting, of course, spinning out of the rough, is that they don't have many left-handers. There's Graeme Smith at the top of the order and Jack Rudolph, and those are the only 2. The West Indies have a proliferation of whom the one facing is now just a boundary away from a double 100. Long on has come into mid-on. They're bringing the field in. In front of his home crowd here at Border. Chanderpaul, native of Guyana, native of Georgetown, plays for the Georgetown Cricket Club, whose home this is.
The coolest and least excited person on the ground appears to be Ryan Chanderpaul himself. The crowd are working themselves up into a frenzy, and he remains impassive.
I'm not sure what the derivation of the Tiger is as a nickname. Nice place. And just past the tumbling nail. Had a lot of work to do today, the big fast bowler. They'll get 2 for it. Ends the over. Attention will switch again to Ryan Chanderpaul. He's 198. It's 538 for 5. Brilliant save, absolutely brilliant save, which prevents Chanderpaul from getting the double 100. Jack Callis, that was 4 runs from the time it left the bat until it reached Callis, and then it turned into none at all.
Chanderpaul's favourite stroke as well. He's so good at that, opening the face, getting the ball away backward of point. Thought this time yesterday, and getting to 100 was a monumental effort, given the turmoil coming into the game. His first time as captain of the West Indies. He's still there now, a day later. And there's his wife in the middle of the shot.
Now, would she be the Tigress then?
Well, it would stand to reason, wouldn't it?
Can't get it through. The anticipation still mounts. Fine shot. Graeme Smith in the way. Jack Callis was in the way of the previous one, which was more difficult. They're making him work. 29.
Well, he's certainly got a good way of keeping the crowd on tenterhooks. Did it to them last night. The umpires offered him a chance to go off for bad light. He said, no, I'll stay on, and then proceeded to get to 3 figures and then walked off. And he's just nudging his way up now to his first Test match double 100.
And here's Boyer to Chanderpaul. That's it. That's his double century. He gets it with a boundary, as he did yesterday afternoon, just about this time, with a 4 to reach his 100. And Ryan Chanderpaul becomes the 4th West Indies captain, 5th West Indies captain to score a double century. 4 of them before him. And now the 5th West Indies captain, and this is his first Test as captain. In order, there have been Dennis Atkinson 219, and the declaration now comes for the West Indies, simultaneous with him reaching his half century. A bold move here by Chanderpaul. He's got his double 100. It's 5:43 for 5. He says that's enough. Now let's see what our bowlers can do.
As soon as he got there, Ryan Chanderpaul declared the West Indies innings closed at 543 for 5. Double 100 for him, double 100 for Wavell Hinds. Good support from Pagan and Ryan Hinds. South Africa's bowlers toil long and hard, toil better today than they did yesterday. It was a much better, more disciplined performance today. Still the best of the bunch. Andre Nell 3 for 93, a wicket for Langerfeldt 1 for 65, and Boyer got through much more work today and bowled a lot better, 1 for 106.
Smith, just 24 years of age, but he has been around a fair bit, has scored a few runs himself. Almost 3,000 runs already in his career. Not a bad average, that. And the best of 277. I would think he'll be looking forward to batting on this surface, but you never know. This great game.
A.B. de Villiers is his opening partner. Very new to Test cricket, made his debut at Port Elizabeth against England just 3 or 4 months ago, just before Christmas it was. But he's had a good start to his Test career, averaging 46, and has already got 500 runs. It's going to be Pedro Collins who's going to start proceedings with the ball. 3 slips, a gully. Graham Smith on strike, and Smith and de Villiers will want to get through this short session this evening. It may only be 10 minutes or so. It looks to me as though it's getting darker by the minute. But here's Collins.
Immediately off the mark, Graham Smith. Pedro Collins certainly has developed a good away swinger to the left-hander, in swinger to the right-handed batsman. We have seen him use that to good effect in recent times. Not really a great evidence of swing so far in this Test match, but the brand new ball, it should do a bit.
Smith is already having a quiet word with Alin Dar about the light. He had a good look at him after that first delivery. The umpires will monitor this light, don't you worry about that, Graham. I had a look at it last night. Here's de Villiers on strike now. It's a no ball. But now de Villiers early in his innings just gets a little bit stuck on the crease. Tends to play with those feet together a little, and if Collins can get one to swing back at him, it's his style, de Villiers, but Collins needs to pitch the ball up, and he needs to get that foot back a considerable distance.
That's interesting. First delivery. Well, the umpires are having a look. they would have taken a reading when they offered the light to the West Indies yesterday. They will note that reading, and now they'll offer the light again to South Africa, and obviously they'll take it. Don't quite understand this declaration, but that's life.
Well, it's the most ridiculous declaration, Michael. I mean, Chanderpaul got his 200 and then went off, but he knew exactly what was going to happen. I cannot believe that it was in West Indies' best interest to do that. I can't think what he was thinking unless he was delirious at getting his double 100. The South Africans are laughing all over their faces because they've been reprieved, and the West Indies have dropped a clank.
The playing conditions will stipulate that they do get back these overs. Of course, they'll start earlier tomorrow, but you still want to put pressure on the opposition as much as you possibly can. Pile up the runs. You are not going to take the light. You are in a commanding position. That's the West Indies, that is. Pile up the runs. Put them in tomorrow in the bright light. Get at them immediately. Possibility of getting an early wicket or two. Well, South Africa have a good night's rest tonight, and then they'll be coming back refreshed tomorrow, knowing that West Indies have squandered an opportunity to get another 40-50 runs and approach 600 runs. Very beautiful pavilion, that nice old wooden building, grown accustomed to seeing here at Border. So many grounds around the world are changing in so many different aspects and losing that character that you get accustomed to at those particular grounds. Umpires, of course, will be noting the time at which play came to an end. They'll be doing their mathematics, working out the overs, seeing exactly what time they need to start to get those overs that they have lost today in tomorrow. Of course, you can make up an hour each day.
Will be half an hour early tomorrow to start, I would imagine. Start at 9:35 local time. I think that will be the decision. They'll add a half an hour on at the end of the day. I'm told it's 56 minutes that will be made up tomorrow. So I don't know whether they start half an hour early and then add the extra 26 minutes on at the end, or it's the other way around. But we'll find out in due course. Of course, play hasn't been abandoned for the day yet, but I can't see them coming out again. There's no chink in this low cloud. I can't see the sun reappearing. It was at about 5:30 yesterday that David Shepherd offered Shivnarine Chanderpaul the chance to go off, and he declined and stayed on for an extra 15 minutes or so. It was never going to be the case tonight as long as South Africa were batting. As it is, the West Indies declared and offered South Africa the chance of batting this evening. It's raining on the coast. That's about a mile away, and that's where the weather comes from, so they better get the covers on here.
Umpires will stay in the middle, of course, until they feel any raindrops and signal for the covers, and then one suspects they'll say that's the end of the day's play. If not, they'll just try to hang around and see if there's any prospect of the light getting better. But as Paul Allard said, that's doubtful. Very, very doubtful. We just saw the head groundsman making a signal or two towards the boundary. That would suggest that he's sending for perhaps some covers.
It's quite an animated gesture. Get the covers on quickly. So West Indies declaring 5:43 for 5. In reply, South Africa are 2 without loss.
This is 10 Cricket.